Hey, thanks for tuning in. It's Mara Sievers. I'm here today to show you a stretch for your hip flexor group. So there's several muscles that flex the hip. Flexing the hip means bringing the upper body forward towards the legs, or also lifting the knee up towards the torso. Okay, that's your hip joint, and it flexes that. So both of these movements are hip flexing movements. And there's a group of muscle, not just one, several. And that's why, obviously, there's many muscles, so those muscles tend to get very, very tight. And because we spend so much of our time sitting with this 90-degree angle between the legs and the torso, they get even shorter and tighter. Okay, so in a previous video, we talked about massaging this area, which is a great first step and really important. And in this video, we're going to look at lengthening. It's just stretching the area out. And you probably might know a lunge stretch. That's a great, or a runner's lunge, something like that. It's a great stretch. This one that I'll show you today is also excellent. It just gets, I find it gets a little bit deeper into the muscle. So it's, if you feel like you're sort of flexible, but you just want to get deeper into it, that might be a great one to try out. So we're going to use a foam roller for this. This is a pretty firm roller, a black one. Works for me. If you'd rather use a softer one, that's totally fine as well. And we're going to start by lying down on our backs and put the roller behind your knees, behind your thighs. And then lift your hips up and put the roller underneath your pelvis. Where exactly, we're going to figure out in a second, okay? Once you're here, hold the roller. You can hold it on top or on the sides here. Doesn't matter, whichever, depends a little bit on how long your arms are, okay? Whatever's comfy. And then start by lifting one leg at a time up into tabletop first. And then from here, pull one knee into the chest and stretch the other leg forward, okay? And then if you can, drop the foot down, the long leg, drop it down. And that's where you might feel that stretch coming into the front, the top of the hip here, hip flexors, okay? And then you just basically hang out. Depending on where the roller is positioned underneath your pelvis, you're going to feel this in a slightly different place. So feel free to experiment a little bit. On the foam roller, whenever you use a foam roller, it's really, really helpful to just play around and just try it out and see what works for you. So maybe you want to roll a little bit more back or scoot back so that the roller is more underneath the bottom and more towards the legs, okay? That shifts the stretch into a slightly different place. Oh, that feels actually really nice. Okay, or you want to scoot your weight down so the roller comes a little bit up. Now it's more towards the top rim of the pelvis. And then see how that feels. I find a little bit less stretch here, but every person's different, so be curious to find out your experience. Okay, now I'm going to go just a little bit back, more towards the center where I started. There are several other ways how you can make this a little bit different or more intense. One way would be to flex the bottom foot, the long leg, and really reach away with the heel. This engages the muscles of the leg, and that might help you stretch just a little bit more. You can also pay attention to how the leg is rotated, the long one. So are the toes turning out to the side, or are they turning straight up to the ceiling, okay? And then where do you get the best stretch? And then for very flexible people, try to bring this knee a little bit towards your shoulder. So you bring it a little bit out to the side and towards the shoulder. That is usually deepens the stretch even more. Okay. In general, play a little bit with where the knee is. For some of you, you might actually feel more stretch when you let the leg come away from you. Maybe you feel more stretch when you pull it in. Okay, there are really no rules. Your body rules, that's what I say. Okay. And then of course, you do the same thing on the other side. I don't have to show you that because you can figure that out. Okay, and then just to safely get back out of this, step your feet down, lift your hips up, push the roller out from underneath you. Bring your knees up. One arm comes overhead, you roll onto that side. And you can help yourself back up into a seated position. All right? So try it out. If you have questions, if you're not quite sure how to do it or what's going on, leave me a comment below in the comment section, and I'll help you out, okay?
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you'd like to see more cool information, head over to PilatesEncyclopedia.com. I'll see you next time.